Yo, welcome to Watercooler. Thank you so much for tuning in. We back for another fantastic episode. I know we haven't recorded the episode yet, but I can already tell that this one is a winner. Thank you so much for tuning in.
It's gonna be sick.
It's gonna I see what you did there. So thank you so much for tuning in. You know the show goes, hi, Chris Locks. I'm on a kick it with Mike Roll, Digital Bud, and Matt and Out of Focus Gary. With me today, all the way in North Hollywood, California. It's Mike Dawson.
Totally in focus, 100%. How are you? Welcome to the water cooler.
Thank you. Yeah, well, please
Happy
welcome our wonderful audience here. Yes,
Welcome.
And then all the way in Austin, Texas, it's Matt Fondelier.
Hey, Blur Gary.
Gary's having a camera malfunction, which is brand new because right before the
Is it a camera malfunction or is it a fingerprint?
It's hard to tell.
Oh.
But
I feel like you did the point, like we always do the point at each other on the video feed, and then maybe Gary was a little too enthusiastic, and the point turned into a splotch.
Okay, wait. Let me introduce Gary. Click all the way in Orange County, California. It's Gary Smith.
What's up?
All right, so Matt, this point thing that you do every show at the end, for those who watch the show on YouTube or see it in the video feed, you always end it with a point. Now I always thought you were pointing to the audience. But no, you're pointing to Gary, and Gary's pointing to you?
No, I'm pointing at the audience. But I'm saying
you said
Gary
you pointed to each
does
other.
it as well.
Okay.
This is the first time in a long time that I didn't do the point.
Yeah, well, you had a camera malfunction. Anyway.
Fucked up.
Anyway, we got a lot of show today. Matt has a shay. We got our comments. I got some stuff going on. I may be sick. I'm not sure yet. There's a bug going around around the people that I tend to hang with. It's a stomach bug, a little stomach virus. It's like one of those 24-hour things where you are gonna end up violently puking.
Did you get it at Burning Man, dude?
I wish.
You got it at Burning Man. How with Ebola, huh?
Do you have a tummy wummy hurting?
Dude, my tummy wummy is not feeling too hot. And yeah, so we'll see what happens. My appetite's suppressed, which is really weird for me. That's not right. That's the first sign of something is wrong. Chris isn't hungry.
Somebody offered you a crab head, and you were like, "I can't, not for me."
I said, "Put it in a to-go box." That's how crazy it got. Yeah,
Wrap it up.
I don't want it now. Wrap it up. All right. Well, anyway, so I was telling the guys before the show, hey, there is a slight chance that I may have to vomit during this episode. To where I said, and I don't want to put that out there. I don't want to put that video out. I want the audio to get out. Nobody wants to hear that.
What you said was, we edit some things, which goes against the
It was implied. You know what I mean? And
well,
Gary,
I mean, Chris, did you plan? If you have to vomit, do you plan on vomiting right there in your studio, or do you plan on walking the 20 or so steps really fast to where the toilet is, an appropriate place to vomit?
it's really hard to say.
I just assumed
there's
you would
no
just
way.
leave and excuse yourself and vomit. I didn't know we have the chance of being enthralled with a live vomit.
This is one of the things we're just gonna have to play it by ear.
Okay.
I'm not gonna make any predictions. I'm not gonna make any proclamations.
We may have to.
As someone who's visited your home, you don't really have many options. If you all of a sudden know you're gonna vomit, I mean, maybe you make it to some grass, but you're not making it to a bathroom.
Right? Yeah, I'm in my detached studio.
Speaking of grass, you should go into the backyard and just start eating grass. I've seen my
cats
dog.
do.
Yeah, and my dog too. I feel like when it's about to get sick, just eat a bunch of grass. It makes you feel better.
Why do dogs and cats know to eat their vegetables when they need their nutrients? That's pretty impressive. Yeah, I remember when I had a cat, we got cat grass, and what a sell that was! It really was just a box of grass growing, like it was like a pot of grass, and that
the catnip, but the cat didn't go crazy.
No, it was actual just grass. It looked like somebody just took a piece of sod, put it in a pot, and let it grow.
What was the point of said cat grass?
Yeah. Just because cats like eating it, it like soothes them. I think it cleans their teeth.
Okay.
And they just eat it. It's like
and it's just basically lawn.
It's just grass. It just looks like grass, right, Gary? Have you messed with cat grass?
I'm aware of it. We don't give it to my cat for some reason, but I know what you're talking about.
Because you have a lawn and you have common sense. That's why.
What? You guys are all crazy. And Gary, I know Joy is listening to this as well. You guys need to invest in a little bit of catnip, a little bit of cat grass. The cats just roll around in it. Dawson, it's like your precious
Yeah, you know.
marijuana for cats.
I get
They
it.
You
love
know
I
what
get it.
catnip is? Catnip
Sure,
and
it's a
cat
treat.
grass are
But
different.
cat grass is like the same thing. It's not the exact
It's a
like
treat,
same
but yeah.
genus, but it's like the cats react to it in the same way. They kind of
Yeah.
nip at it and they roll around in it and they get like a little excited about it. And
Maybe
it's
Gary's
hilarious.
cat is straight edge.
Maybe.
Oh, yeah.
Is your cat a fucking pussy or what?
Well, the
Joy, I'd just like to note that I'm not participating in any of this bullshit.
You're not participating?
Correct.
the cat grass is I think it's more of a treat. It's weird. I don't get it,
I'm
but
down if it's like kitty weed.
Yeah,
like
speaking
I
of
get
kitty
the,
exactly what it
I get
is.
catnip.
It's
But
exactly what
if
it
it's
is.
just grass,
No,
get a
dude.
lawn.
It's just
Oh, it's
What
not
is-
just
grass. It's grass.
what is the dog equivalent of catnip?
Fucking
I don't think there is
bits.
one.
They just don't get
Okay,
that
You've obviously
that
never
joy.
given your dog
Fucking bone.
a
It's
marrow
it's a
bone.
bone
Give your
and
dog a marrow
ribeye.
bone.
Yeah,
Bone
it's
marrow
a
is
bone.
bone marrow does that to dogs.
Oh
That's
man, we call
weird.
it doggy ice cream. They give you a little, it's like a frozen piece
That's
of
disgusting.
dog bone with the marrow in the middle, and you give it to your dog on a hot day, and they just like lick it like ice cream until they like get the center of the bone emptied out, and
Yeah.
they rub around in it, they roll around in it. It's fucking great. They love it.
They sell bags of those at Costco. I haven't seen them in like a couple of months. They say they're still being delivered, but I give those to Champ all the fucking time. Just a fucking marrow bone. Dude loves it.
But does it make them
But-
crazy the way
No,
catnip does?
No, a bone-in ribeye. A bone-in ribeye. For Boo, it was like chocolate. If she could lick the bowl of chocolate ice cream, her eyes would fucking go in the back of her head because it tasted so good.
Just roll all the
So
way
like
back.
she was like,
Don't give your dog
"Oh, I
chocolate."
can't believe I'm eating this.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was crazy.
You know, I wouldn't be able to have any of that at my house because Jen works in operating rooms. It just freaks her out. Like one time, when I was living by myself, I would cook liver a lot because liver's pretty cheap. And I don't know, for some reason I liked it. This is before I had my gout issues. Now I'll never do this. But I would cook liver a lot, and I would keep liver in my fridge. Because I'm the only one eating out there. And she looked inside my fridge and she said, "This smells like my work. Can you please get rid of the liver?" Because it smelled like the OR for her, and it just weirded her out. So yeah, bone marrow would do the same thing. Like she can't handle that. So yeah, unfortunately, if we get a dog, no marrow for him, unless I'll have to sneak it in. But speaking of grass,
I think Jenny's being uptight. She just needs to let you live her.
Thank you. Thank you. I'll let her know. Speaking of grass, so we just did a movie night of on our Patreon. It's like a new experiment we tried where we all watched a movie and then talked about it, went on a few tangents, yelled at each other. It was really fun.
I hate to correct you, but aren't we dubbing them the movie club now?
Oh, it's a movie club. That's right. It's like a book club, but a movie club.
WC.
Yeah,
what we're
and
calling it.
I just
we're
want
still
to
workshopping that part.
It's on our Patreon. We watched Gary's pick, How High, because Gary just wanted to see some big tokes of dank nugs, and which was what we saw. So we talked about it. Spoiler alert: not all of us loved it, but it was still a really fun conversation. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tack a little audio snippet of it at the end of the show. So after you hear the
spoiler
outro,
alert, not all of us watched it.
Oh, how
do you
dare
know
you?
that?
How dare you? So after
How do you know that? How dare you?
the after this episode, after the outro, just stick around and I'll play you a little clip and entice you perhaps to sign up for our Patreon. All right, so let's see, a few things going on. First off, look, we're still coming off of Hurricane Hillary. Weird weather in California, Matt. I feel like I need to let you know this because you're not around. You don't know what's going on here, but things are weird out here.
I'm super bummed because I loved El Nino back in '96. Like I was the number one fan.
That was a good year. That was a good year for Nino.
With the shirts. Oh yeah, just rain all the time. Like that was some legit SoCal weather. I loved every minute of it. RIP, all the destruction. But from my personal experience, it was pretty awesome.
Yeah.
And so I moved away, and I have heard that there's just been some incredible weather patterns, and I am so jealous because it has just been a barren wasteland out here in Austin, which is what it was like in California for the last like 10 fucking years.
Right.
So what is going on?
switched
What
it
am I
up.
missing?
But so I think with all this weather, all this weird rain, all this stuff, you know that song, The Itsy Bitsy Spider, Matt?
Oh yeah, dude.
Yeah.
I rock that all the time. Once a week.
I feel like I'm living
just
that. 'Cause
checking in with
I'm
it.
getting so many frickin' spiders around, webs everywhere, spiders popping around, and I'm seeing them, and I kill them secretly, and I don't want to make a fuss about it. If I see one, I close the door, because if I tell Jen, then my day's ruined, because now I got to go spider hunting, because that's not the only one, and blah blah blah. Like, so it's like, all right, or I let them free, whatever it is, but I don't tell Jen about all the spiders I've been seeing, but I've been seeing a lot of spiders. And Gary talks, this is the right move, right? I'm trying to keep her safe and sane.
I mean, sure. This is fine. This is fine. I mean, that was the most fucking unbelievable, like, or I let him go, whatever. Like, bullshit. You let 0 of them go. You kill every single one that you come across.
Well,
Yeah,
hopefully
it's your
you come
job,
across
dude. Your
more.
job is to kill spiders.
Yeah.
That's in the marital contract.
Okay. I'll stop at the spiders. Those crane flies, too. I've been seeing some crane flies around. Those things looked effed up. They look like mega mosquitoes, right? But we are supposed to like them because they eat the mosquitoes. Is that right?
Between those
I don't
and the
think
spiders,
I think
what
that's
are you
an urban
doing?
legend. I don't think they and like they're called mosquito hawks too.
They straight up look
But
like
I
what
don't
was
think
in
they
what was
eat
in the
mosquitoes.
Jurassic Park guy's ember at the end of his cane. Like, these are some big ass
Yeah.
mosquito looking things. Yeah,
Yeah.
they look like mosquito hawks, or they're called that. And so so I worry about killing those things too. And it's just like, geez, dude, so many bugs. So anyway, the other day, Jen sees a bug outside in our backyard. Like, we have these French doors in our kitchen that look out into the backyard, and
Freedom doors.
in the middle of just right in front, like, I guess, like, between my studio and the kitchen, a spider has woven the most intricate, beautiful, huge web that I've ever seen in our backyard. And there's just this big ass spider smack dab in the middle of it, like, huge. And now my brain, she's like, hey, Chris, just want to show you this. Look out there. And now I'm thinking, okay, what am I supposed to do about this? The spider's outside. That's his land, right?
No, it's not. Does he pay the taxes?
He does. I didn't ask. I
He
didn't
pay the
ask.
mortgage?
So now I'm trying to think, how do I get this spider? Because it looks like he's basically floating in midair on this wonderful web that probably took him all night to make, because this is the morning. And I'm just staring at him. And I'm going, what's your move? What are we doing here? You're too big. You're too big to not be terrifying. What are we doing? And the spider straight up, like, sprints down to the end of the web, and it comes back up. Like, I think it caught a bug, because it's working its legs really fast and winding something. I'm thinking, oh my God, now I'm watching him eat like he caught a bug. No, he was rolling up his web. He rolled his web up, his whole web, into a ball.
He was packing up.
And then floated away. He left. I didn't know spiders did that.
They
Like,
floated.
this huge web, just rolled it up in a ball and left. Like, all right,
You gave
I
him
know
a
that
stern
look.
word.
I know that look. No, I don't
Yeah.
pay taxes, mister. And then he just bailed.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's pretty incredible.
It was
You're like
lucky.
a bug
Most-
whisperer.
We're both lucky. 'Cause
Yeah,
I-
you are a bug whisperer.
I do this thing, and that's why Jen doesn't really trust me when she sees spiders, because I will try to terminate its life, execute it, and I won't go all. I miss. Sometimes I miss. These things are fast, and then it drops. Like, if it's on the wall, it'll drop to the floor, and of course I just have a pile of stuff on the floor, and now it's gone forever, just to haunt us later, right? So it's just, I'm already thinking I'm not going to be able to, I don't know if I'm going to be able to kill you first try, dude. And I don't know what to do, but he packed up and left, and it was beautiful, and it was an understanding. And it was just nice to have that understanding. He's out there somewhere. He's probably listening.
I'm glad that you have gained such respect in the spider culture, because I recall it was not that long ago when we were doing a show in the Lake Tahoe area. Maybe you've heard of the disastrous live performance we gave. But
Lake Arrowhead there, pal.
Lake Arrowhead, thank you. But I do recall, Chris, that when we were staying in that haunted whorehouse, respect all women, that there was a spider that
I
was
remember that,
hovering over your bed with your bride to be. And you said, Spider, I'll make an agreement.
I made a deal.
I won't kill you as long as you don't impact my soon-to-be wife and my life. And then
don't impact my life.
Morning,
just go do your own thing. I'll do my own thing. I didn't see you. You didn't see us.
I think word got around.
And
the
I'm
turning off the light.
Spider rejected this conference, and you woke up either in the middle of the night, I don't remember exactly, middle of the night or next morning, and the spider was essentially attempting a threesome with you and your bride to be, and it was,
I was violated.
Cursed you to this moment, yes.
And the word of that spider's destruction reached through the spider community. And
they know I'm a
now
sucker.
You
they
got
know
a
I'm
guy
a sucker.
Years
web
later,
saying, this guy don't play.
Yes.
Yeah, I certainly don't.
Let's pack it up. Let's get out of here.
Yeah, when he was packing up, I looked at him like, tell your friends.
Tell them all.
Tell your friends.
You live.
Yeah.
Yeah. You see a tear go down the spider's face like, I'm going to miss you?
Yeah. I said, send them a message.
I knew how to quit you.
Put that information on the web.
Yeah, that's right. I said, go back to your
Gary.
spider friends, send them a message. And the spider's like, what is the message? And I said, you're the message. You living is the message.
Chris, I think you're right that whatever the weather is doing is bringing out a lot of spiders. And the way that it's manifested itself in my particular instance is that on my street, there is a house that has like a large kind of hedge type thing right at the edge of the sidewalk, sort of where their driveway starts. And this person has a car that they like to park on the street. And for some reason, this spider has made it a hobby of himself to build a web from the side view mirror of the car to the hedge. So much so that now more than once I've walked straight through a spider web trying to walk my dog. Now it won't be happening again, but like there is nothing worse than walking through a full-blown spider web and having it hit your face.
Yeah, why does that feel so unpleasant? It's the thinnest. It you could barely see it. It's so thin. But man, you just feel it. It might as well be a baseball bat.
It's not the web. It's the fear of knowing what is connected to the web. And if the web has wrapped itself around your face, there is absolutely an 8-legged venomous creature on your back or shoulder blade, or perhaps your face, and you don't even realize it. They're swifty.
It's both. I agree with you, Matt. It's the fear of the unknown as well. But also, even if I could tell you for sure that there is no spider around and the spider has departed, I don't want any part of a spider web on my skin.
Yeah, I'm the same. And Matt, you calling spiders swifty is not going to help your Taylor Swift.
As soon as I said
algorithm.
it, I was like, oh God, I've been red pilled.
Just be careful.
Yeah.
Is that a Taylor Swift reference in regards to spiders?
Swifties are Taylor Swift fans.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Me and Matt are gonna go watch the movie. I'll keep tagging him on stuff so we don't miss it.
Please don't.
Yeah. By the way, Gary. So I've been watching kids movies a lot now.
Yeah, welcome.
They are good. They are so good. I watched the Rise of Gru Minions movie. Hilarious.
Great. Saw it in theaters.
And then I watched Puss in Boots. Fantastic. The new Puss in Boots. These are great. Like, what?
I heard that's really good, actually.
Yeah, there's some good kids movies, because the other day, Jen put some Disney cartoons in the background, like old school, like Sleeping Beauty, and Bambi and Snow White. And
have you gotten to the Mickey Mouse Clubhouse yet?
No, not yet. No, it's just cartoons and just in the background, because there's music in it and bright colors, whatever. Jen caught me showing him The Simpsons. Because I'm like, they're funny. They're yellow people, and they're having fun. He doesn't know what they're saying. She didn't appreciate that one. She actually thought it was funny. But the Sleeping Beauty, that I didn't realize how little I know about Sleeping Beauty. I just know that one scene where she's asleep, and the prince kisses her, and then she wakes up. The fact that they stretched that out into a 2-hour movie.
Yeah.
Impressive.
What they do, what they add,
I don't even know. I don't even know.
Fight scene. What did they do for 2 fucking hours?
I was just watching in awe, like,
she
what
eats an apple
this?
goes to sleep.
No,
Is that the
the
apple
Snow
one?
White.
The apple
That's
is
Snow White.
Snow White.
Snow White. Okay.
By the way, they stretch that out a lot too, but the dwarfs are funny. But the
But at least they got dwarfs. They
yeah,
can
at
do.
least there's
All
yeah, there's
Gary.
Not in the new one.
yeah, that's
We've
true. Well,
evolved.
we don't have to get too topical here, but I remember watching Sleeping Beauty. It's like, what? I cannot believe there's more to this movie than just her waking up after falling asleep. And then you're really gonna name it after just like the end of the third act?
She's
Like
sleeping.
there's so much movie in front of it.
Yeah.
Bro,
Yeah.
let me tell you about something called Cinderella. All right. Snow White, Sleeping Beauty. That shit's child's play, man. You got to step it up. Fairy godmothers.
Oh,
fucking
Cinderella's
dragon
great.
battles.
I get it.
Come on.
Cinderella's fine. And there's
Wait, the
actually a
dragons in
story.
Sleeping Beauty, huh?
There's actually a story to be told in Cinderella. Sleeping Beauty, it's just like
You don't
Yeah.
know what you got till it's gone.
she's asleep and the hot guy is going to kiss her. And then she wakes up. That's it. I mean, I know it's an old cartoon.
Hey,
and those
hashtag
things
me
are,
too. He didn't
those-
ask permission.
those Disney cartoons are actually really creative. I was watching. I was like, man, I can't believe they came up with this that long ago. But yeah, I was watching that and I thought, this is a short. It should be Steamboat Willie and Sleeping Beauty double feature, and then I'm out in 10 minutes, and then we're done. Right, Gary? Gary thought the same thing.
No.
What's the problem? I said Steamboat Willie, and you got upset.
Yeah, something about that just doesn't sound right.
Steamboat Willie.
It's just
it's
him.
a first cartoon.
It's like a stick mouse. It's just a mouse walking around on a dock, I believe, or on a steamboat or something. But it's just simple animation. It's nothing fucking to it, as far as I remember. You know what the biggest waste of time is, though? Fantasia.
Oh yeah.
I sat through fucking Fantasia once, like 45 fucking minutes. Like, dude, this is lame.
Yeah. In theaters?
No, thank God.
Okay. I wonder, Doss, because you like to partake in the psychedelics. If that seems like the perfect movie to take mushrooms and watch.
That would be
no?
a fantastic movie to eat some mushrooms, get some good visuals rolling, and especially if it was like IMAX.
I know Kalen is the movie guy, but
That
Dawson,
would be really. I think that would be
Dawson
really
taking
fucking
some
sweet.
shrooms and watching Fantasia. I would love to hear the report back on that.
That would be really cool.
Yeah,
But it'd have to be in a theater, in a big theater experience. You need all that.
Oh,
It can't be home viewing.
Some TVs are
It's
pretty.
got to be
these
big
days.
and coming at you.
TVs are pretty big these days. We might be able to figure something out. But anyway, and lastly, so it was my my sister-in-law's birthday last weekend, or we celebrated it, and we got her a card. How much do you guys write in cards if there's already a message in it? Like,
Kind of
because it already
ridiculous.
says it. It's already saying what I want it to say. What else?
Sure.
But I can't just sign my name because that's
You can't do that.
you can't do that.
You got to say happy birthday. Hope you have a great day.
That's it. Hope you have a great day.
Yeah.
It doesn't
Love.
need to be. It doesn't need to be a novel, especially if that's the relationship. You know, a sister-in-law's birthday. I mean, if it's a Valentine's Day card or
Yeah.
Mother's Day card, you're gonna want to put a little bit more work into it.
Yeah. Yeah, I
Chris,
get
are
it.
you buying sappy cards?
Well, yeah,
No.
well, that is the thing too. When you
You
guys
got to
are
go
picking
for the
out
comedy
cards,
cards. Always go for comedy.
oh yeah, I go for comedy typically.
Yeah,
Or no,
always.
I go for straightforward, like just real simple, just like
It
For a
is your
birthday
birthday.
card,
Happy-
comedy
happy-
always.
yeah,
For a birthday card.
really. But I don't
You
like
know,
because
you
they're
get
not
a
my
nice,
jokes.
Get a nice soft one for the Valentine's Day and the anniversaries and stuff like that. But birthday, get funny cards.
I would just feel so lame walking up to the cashier with some snarky
animal cards.
Valentine's Day card, like, here you go, and it's like a butt, you know. It's like, oh my god,
Where are
this
you
guy-
shopping for cards?
I don't
Yeah,
know.
dude.
They have
I don't
cards
think
like
they sell that in fucking CVS.
yeah, they do. I'm sure
Oh, they probably do.
they do. They do. Yeah, I don't know. It's just, they need just simple stuff. Just keep it real simple. I'm not looking for anything like the jokes, whatever. It's too much. Like if I want a Far Side cartoon, I'll read the paper. All right. Anyway, let's do some
Anyway.
comments. Let's go.
Now it's time for listener comment.
All right, and these are all comments found within our Facebook group. And thank you, everybody, for writing in and subscribing to this group and joining it. And if anybody else is listening to this and they're not a part of our Facebook group, or let's say you're not even on Facebook, this is what you do. First, you join Facebook. It's fine. It's okay. We're all on it. If we go down, we go down together. Okay? So next, you go to facebook.com/groups/Boboiboy Army Worldwide LLC. You answer a few questions. We might let you in. And I've said it once, and I'll say it again. It's my favorite place on the internet. All right. Really great community here. Let me see here. So we have a comment from Jacob Morales. He's a top contributor to our group. He says, I'm sufficiently baked to ask about revisiting the cheese ball vis-a-vis. Is it vis-a-vis or vis-a-vis?
Vis-a-vis.
Vis-a-vis.
That-
Vis-a-vis.
It's vis-a-vis? That
Oh, no.
makes no sense.
No, that's how it's pronounced, but I think it's vis-a-vis, right?
It's spelled that way, but to Chris's point, the fact that we do pronounce it that way is absurd.
Thank you.
Visine.
Thank you, Shay. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
It makes no sense. So he says he wants to talk about grilled cheese sandwiches, though. He says, let's come up with the best cheese and bread combo and make some sandwiches. For example, I'd go pepper jack on sourdough. What say you, Matt Fondelier?
Sounds
pressure.
lame.
A lot of pressure.
What sounds lame, Doss? The pepper jack on sourdough, or that Matt's coming up with
No,
the ultimate
what are we?
grilled cheese?
We're gonna let's talk about cheese sandwiches, everybody.
Yeah, I'm with Dawson
Good,
on
I'm
this.
down.
I respect the comment, but I'm thinking way
It's not gonna
beyond cheese
happen.
ball at this point.
Yeah.
That's
You're
so
beyond?
2000. That's like pre-pandemic. I don't even remember.
Can
Can
you
you
when
go?
it
Can you
was,
tease
know?
what your next one's going to be? Then your next big
Sure.
move.
Sure, if you want.
I do. Is it going to be today?
All right. No, not today.
Okay.
We've
Yeah, I
been
do
talking
want.
about it. We've been talking about ranking
Wind
pastries.
foods. Oh, ranking
No, we've been
pastries.
talking about ranking pastries, and I just want to let everybody know it takes a little while to establish the patriarchy, but I am working on it.
Obviously.
I have several ideas in mind, and I will,
Oh, yeah.
present perhaps on a future Patreon show. We can figure it out because
We're gonna need.
when I tried to do the cheese ball all on my own, I was humiliated.
Yeah.
So I
I
felt
need
it
some
needs to be a
chocolate
little
old
bit
fashioned
more-
donuts in there.
Well,
Can you do me a
maybe-
favor and pick up the post-it note that is inevitably within arm's reach that says patriarchy with a bunch of exclamation points circled like fucking beautiful mind
Yeah.
style?
Well, I'll tell you what, Gary, it's not a post-it, it's a spreadsheet. There's a little teaser. I got a spreadsheet going, baby.
Oh
I
man.
hope there's a lot of dice involved.
Well, the dice was a mistake, so that's what I'm saying. I learned.
Matt
I
finally
learned from my
realized
mistake.
that you can't rank things by chance. So,
That's what I tried to do. I tried to do that, and you're right, Chris.
yeah.
Can't be
We have to
done.
come up with a
But
definitive
the
ranking.
patriarchy, there's a few different ways to determine it. We can get into it, but I have a Game of Thrones style event for all of us to participate in.
I can't wait.
Should we decide to go in that direction?
That's
Wow.
what I'm talking about, Matt. Thank you for inviting us into what you're working on. I appreciate that. And
Welcome
I'm
to
looking
my
forward.
mind.
I want to hang here for a minute. Let's see
Oh.
here. Jeffrey Lee, he says my wife demanded Olive Garden for dinner. If I recall IIRC, Doss hates this place, right?
Does he call Olive Garden right?
What?
Nothing.
I've never eaten an Olive Garden in my life. My brother loves it, and I
Well,
think we
you
should
said in
take
your
away its
stand-up.
Italian card. It's in my stand-up. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's all
Like
over
I
the
was
place
there
in my
last
stand-up.
week.
What?
You were
Isn't,
You were
isn't
there
it part of your
last week?
stand? No, isn't it part of your stand-up that you say like, "Hey, man, I was at an Olive Garden last week, and joke." Like, do you? Or I know Olive Garden is part of the setup, but do you not claim to have been at an Olive Garden?
I don't tell jokes about Olive Garden.
I thought you did.
say I do their slogan, Olive Garden. When you're here, you perpetuate the myth that we make Italian food.
Good.
Got
Olive
it.
Garden was the first restaurant when I got
Yeah,
a
it's,
paycheck.
the joke is more about having my material sponsored because times
Yeah.
are tough.
Yeah.
I get it.
And then I'll say a joke and maybe it doesn't work so well, I can always go, that joke brought to you by Olive Garden. Olive Garden. When you're here, fuck it, we got breadsticks.
I love it.
Yeah. When I got my first job at TJ Maxx, I used my paycheck first to buy an iPod. That's the whole reason I wanted to work, was I wanted one of those cool iPods where I can just shake it and it didn't skip like my Walkman CD player. It's like, ooh, whatever I want, it's loaded in here, and it's hard. It's loaded, and yeah. So I got the iPod, and then I remember going to hang out with my buddy Chris Bus, and we were both in Cerritos, and we thought, hey, you got a new job, I got a new job. We're making some real dough here. Why don't we get some breadsticks at Olive Garden and eat? Because this is the point in our life where all we do is we would eat at either fast food places or order at the counter places. Never a place where there is a waiter. At least just with friends. You'd go there with your family or something, but just with friends. So me and Chris, we go to Olive Garden and we dine like kings. And we felt like kings. Like, okay, here we are. This is a real restaurant. We're paying for it ourselves with our earned money. And Olive Garden will always hold a special place in my heart because of that. It signifies success, signifies family.
That's
the
strong.
fact that you have both Olive Garden and Macaroni Grill coursing through your veins.
Right.
I'm basically Italian.
It's something to envy, really.
Yeah.
You are
Yeah.
basically Italian. It's
Yeah.
true. Have you been to Italy, by the way?
I have. We'll talk about it one day. Maybe I'll do a Chez Fondlana museum.
Let us know.
Let's see here. Oh, a lot of people, Matt, were really upset with your last Chez.
Yeah. I got a lot of comments, a lot of tweets about it.
Yeah. I guess you did the whole Chez on the Kalash pastry.
Okay, so here you go. This is my fault for misleading all of us. I was under the impression that it was called a kolache, but I have since learned that that is incorrect. It is in fact called a kolache.
Mm-hmm.
And so to the Bobo Boy Army and to the food world at large, I would like to formally issue kolache apology. And
it was like we were strapped to the fucking train tracks. That joke was coming whether we liked it or not. And we just had to sit there and wait.
I was happy. I'm really happy with that. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I loved it. Strap me to that train track any day. Run me over all day long. I'll be the damsel in distress as Matt gets the apology pun in there. So yeah, a lot of people upset with Matt's pronunciation of kolache. Although still everyone
it can't
loves
be
it.
repeated. And honestly, it was cultural appropriation on my part. You know, I didn't understand that there is a kolache culture out here. And I've since been told that Buc-ee's, a place that I sort of dismissed, that I've also learned the error of my ways, is like famous in addition to brisket for kolaches. So it's like a thing. And I'm going to do the work. I just want people to know that I'm going to do the work.
Yeah. Ryan Scripps also, he writes in, says, I just listened to the recent episodes and yeah, Chris, I definitely miscategorized Hot Tub Time Machine as a great bad movie. I believe I posted my retraction as reply to the post, but I might have been a cocktail too deep in watching the movie. I'm not sure if it's better than The Hangover, but it does have me thinking. I'll tell you how to think, Ryan. It's better than The Hangover. The Hangover was hype. It was all hype. Hot Tub Time Machine has the jokes. It's a funnier and more well-crafted movie than The Hangover. How about that? God, you guys are just wrong, and it bothers me.
The thing is that you got the Zach Galifianakis with the baby backpack or front pack, as it were. That alone is more iconic than anything in Hot Tub Time Machine. And you're talking to somebody who spends a lot of time in a hot tub.
Yeah, that's true, and I know you should be biased, Matt, but it's a funnier movie. Let's see here. Oh, Matt, your Wordle word was the word.
Yeah, it was.
Did you do
amazing.
it?
I sure fucking did. It was
audio. Did you know it was gonna work?
I had no idea. I had no idea.
And the fact that you're still playing Wordle in September of 2023.
Wordle, Quirtle, Octurtle. All three every day.
Really?
Yep.
I feel like we're done with that. Gary, is that still a thing?
Some people are done with reading and education and language, but not me.
And ping pong.
I'll choose to be a learner. And yes, ping pong as well. Thank you, Gary.
No, Chris. Normal people are not still doing that.
That's what I thought. You're really just hanging on to this.
Hey man, Lingo season 3. Maybe it'll come back to the US.
That's
I'll
true.
have to fly to the UK. I can go back on again.
Yeah. You gotta keep practicing. Stay sharp. Ryan Toms, he says, I have a question for Chris and Dawson regarding bands, specifically cover bands versus original music bands. I'm a bass player and have been in a couple original music bands. I've always gravitated towards originals. However, I haven't been in a band over a year. That being said, I have an opportunity to join a cover band. The only reason I want to play music is because it's fun and I enjoy it. I've never made any money playing music, and I don't care if I ever do, so money is not being a factor. What are your thoughts on covers versus originals? Go ahead, Dawson.
Didn't you just address this on your Instagram stories recently?
Oh, that's
Playing
funny.
band.
Kind of. Yeah. I posted a funny comic I saw where it was a Trojan horse where it says like, oh, we're going to play covers. And then inside the Trojan horse were original songs and they're trying to be led into the bar. Yeah. So yeah, I'm with Doc. Just play music.
If you want to play music, play music.
Here's the thing. The cover band you're joining.
You better have, if you're in a cover band, you better have fun playing those songs. Don't join a cover band of music you fucking hate.
That's exactly what I was gonna say. You gotta like the songs you're playing. Otherwise, it'll be miserable. So that's number one. Number two, like I play in a cover band as well, because when we play bar gigs, we're playing covers. We're playing for 4 hours straight. We're not gonna fill that all up with originals. We do sneak them in, but but it just makes us tighter learning all these different covers, learning how to play all these songs. A lot of bands started as cover bands, or they would cover songs, like the Rolling Stones, for instance. Like, so basically my band and the Rolling Stones are just like the same thing. So I think you should join if you like their music, if you like their vibe, and just try it out. It couldn't hurt. And just have fun doing it, especially if you just want to play music because it's fun and you enjoy it. Well, that's the answer you're looking for already. And send us some clips and some bass licks, and let me see that song list too, because I'm always curious what everyone else is playing. I think that's the move. Now, if it's a tribute band, that's a different story. I don't really care for tribute bands.
It depends on who they're tributing.
I guess you're right, but it's
I'm down with the tribute. You know what I like? I like a really good Neil Young tribute band.
Yeah,
and it's not hard to pull off.
Yeah.
It's just, to me, the cover band experience is really more about the name of the band. Like, to me, it's all about the pun. There has to be a clever pun for the cover band, because if you don't have that, then I'm not even going to bother buying a ticket.
I thought that the tribute band has the puns, like Led Zeppelin.
Isn't that what we're talking about? Tribute bands?
Oh yeah, cover band and tribute band are different.
Cover band, tribute band.
Cover band, you're basically like a radio station, just playing a bunch of different songs from different artists. Whereas tribute band, you sometimes dress up as the band. You're only playing that band's catalog. You're basically showing, hey, either this band no longer exists, or you are too poor to afford their ticket, and we would like to give you a show as similar as we can to that. Not
so
poor,
come see Blink 180 True.
Well, let me ask you guys. That's great. Good call.
Which I would love to see them, by the way. Don't get me wrong.
I'd be down.
Yeah,
there was how does this get categorized? Because I had a friend who was in a band that covered specifically Tom Petty and Johnny Cash songs, and they were called Petty Cash.
Yeah.
Was that a cover band or a tribute band?
It feels tribute bandy because you are still limited. I do question that he's only playing Tom Petty and Johnny Cash just because of their names and not.
Well, he definitely looked and sounded just naturally like Tom Petty. He had the kind of like longer, scraggly hair and kind of that gravelly voice, but it's still it lent itself to Johnny Cash stuff too.
Now, I'm surprised given the subject matter, but for anyone who thinks Dawson turned his camera off, that is not the case. He has left the show completely.
I saw that too. I thought maybe his pasta dinner was ready.
What did he do?
He's left the Zoom meeting.
I think, if I had to guess, his battery died. Now,
Well, that's pretty bad planning.
I would say so too, but he does use an iPad and he likes to just walk around and
How do we
You know-
feel about that, by the way? It drives me nuts that he does that.
what? Oh,
That
that
he
he
just, like, walks around and he leaves on stage manager so that the fucking camera is constantly following him. It's like, bro, like, can we just pretend for an hour that we're doing a show? Is that possible?
it is weird. He is taking the peek behind the curtain and just real casual thing to a different level.
I mostly want to know, does the cameraman that Dawson has hired get a cut of our
I
money?
hope so.
Because
He
I did
deserves
not
it.
sign up for that.
He's a real MVP. I don't know, but as far as do you guys charge your phone at night?
Yeah.
You do? I don't charge my phone at night.
Now that is my wife.
Well, yeah. Why
do
didn't she?
charge it.
Well, she doesn't do it. Well, oh boy, this is the free show. She doesn't do it because she doesn't want to get the like crazy fucking like EMF wave charging shit like near her face.
Do you have a
she's
News Nook
sleeping.
intro, Gary? Because I
No,
don't.
but like that's it's not. I don't disagree with that necessarily. I do still
Hey,
charge
Matt.
my phone by my face, but it's probably not the best thing to do.
What does that lunacy have to do with charging it at night? Can't you just charge it in the fucking bathroom or something?
I guess she could. Maybe she does that. I don't think that she does though.
Do you guys
You're
look
right.
at your phone in bed?
No.
Okay. Oh, look, Dawson's coming in. All right. Before I let him in, what happened? Let's all predict. I think his iPad died.
Yeah.
He got bored. Anybody
Or his iPad just gave up.
got
on him.
over it?
Yeah, no,
Wanted
it's a
to
tech
eat.
issue.
His
That's
di-
the only
his
reason
dinner-
why.
His dinner was ready. Okay, here we go. Let's let Dawson back in and find out. Oh, there he is. Anyway, so that's
Internet
that's
died.
probably why I love.
And
Alan
that's what's
Parsons.
on the menu.
Yep. What happened, Doss?
Internet just died.
Ah,
Yeah,
internet
yeah.
connection.
Classic.
Of course, of
Classic
course.
internet.
Yeah. All right. Well, anyway.
No, I think the last thing I heard, we were talking about cover bands. That's where I got out.
Yeah. Ah, well, you get
But
it.
whatever.
Yeah. You know, like
Yeah.
I was listening to an interview. I don't know why, but I got really into Matchbox 20 again pretty recently.
Yeah, dude. 'cause
know
Rob
why.
Thomas
Barbie.
is one
Why,
of the
Gary?
greatest songwriters
Fucking
ever.
awesome.
Matchbox 20 rules. But
Yes.
and Rob Thomas, I mean, he wrote one of the greatest, most successful American songs ever, which is "Smooth" with
Carlos
Santana.
Santana.
yeah. So
have you seen Barbie?
I haven't seen Barbie.
Okay, cool. Keep
Is he
talking.
in Barbie?
No, keep talking.
Oh, well, anyway, though, so I've been really into Matchbox 20. Most notably that record with like Put Yourself or
Push,
Someone
3
Like You.
a.m. That's obviously the best record they
Yeah,
ever.
3am, Real World, Long Day, like all that, right? Like,
How do you guys
dude,
feel
these
about
are some
Push?
Good
You
ass
guys
songs.
fans?
Love Push.
Push
I
is
love
great.
Push.
Push. Yeah.
Cool.
Do you not like Push, Matt?
I love
Oh no,
Greatest
I do
song
like
ever.
it, but I love that none of you have seen Barbie.
I haven't seen Barbie, so
Yeah.
do I need to see Barbie to understand where you're going with this?
That's
Okay.
right. All my ladies out there listening know what I'm talking about.
Okay. I do love
What's up,
I love
ladies?
called-
Push.
It's called Yourself or Someone Like You, right?
Yeah, Yourself or Someone Like You. It
Yes.
has that guy. By the way, that guy in the album cover, like he like sued the band because they used his, even though they paid the photographer, they didn't pay the guy, I guess, and or maybe they did, but not enough. But he's like, hey, this super successful album, I don't like my face on it. Yeah. So anyway, I've been listening to a lot of Matchbox.
That's like
20 recently.
the Nirvana baby did the same thing.
Yeah,
This is not
exactly.
fair. If you're like part of an iconic album cover, you're not allowed to sue. I'm sorry. Even if it was you got lucky.
Even if
I don't
even
care
if
it
you were
was
4 months
taken
old.
without your permission. you won the fucking lottery.
Yeah, that's true. And by the way, the Nirvana baby, nobody recognizes you, dude. I know you're naked, but there's no way. Like, if I saw you and you told me you were the Nirvana baby, which you were, I wouldn't believe you. Yeah,
Exactly.
sorry. So don't bitch about that. But the yeah, so I've been listening to Matchbox 20 and just what a great songwriter Rob Thomas is. Just incredible vocalist, super funny actor too. I think he's like been in like It's Always Sunny, and I thought he was really funny in that.
Oh,
And,
that's right. He was in an episode.
Yeah.
Of that.
and like
Oh,
kind of
I'm reading about that guy. He's dead.
Come again? What?
the guy in the album cover.
Yeah.
Oh shit. Oh, I
Really?
didn't mean to talk shit. I'm sorry.
R.I.P.
R.I.P. Anyway, so yeah, great album. By the way, Push. Growing up, like the rumor around school was Push was about beating your wife and like beating your spouse, right? I want to push you around,
I
and
don't need to laugh at that.
and it felt
And I
it
will,
felt,
and I will.
and it felt really dark. Same thing. The other rumor was Everlong was about getting a Bobo, right? Will everything ever feel like that was like what we were told? So I remember growing up
I
thinking that's
miss
what
grade school.
Everlong was about.
Jesus.
Right? Yeah, they just lied to me. And then I remember going into college, like, oh yeah, the song's about
Wow.
getting Bobos. And like, no, it's not, you idiot. I brought that from elementary school and I'm dropping it like fact. Shame on me. But anyway, so I'm listening to Matchbox 20, and then I go down the YouTube rabbit hole. I'm watching acoustic performances, I'm watching old performances, old iTunes concerts, things like that. I'm loving it. I'm like, man, solid band, solid band. And then I listened to an interview, and they were a cover band. They would play bars and just play for hours. So they played a bunch of covers too. So you could just be like Matchbox 20. Just play a bunch of covers, and then maybe one of your songs becomes a great hit. But man, that song's smooth. It's really good. That's a really damn good.
It's a classic summer
It got
song.
fucked out really bad.
It did. It really, because it got it. Everybody was playing it. It fits so many genres. You know, Rob Thomas wasn't even supposed to be the singer. Like, he wrote it with like another singer in mind, and then Carlos heard him sing the demo, and it's like, no, this is the guy. He's gonna sing it. And yeah, what a match made in heaven. Smooth as a freaking banger of a song.
I mean, I would listen to that song until 3 a.m.
That's what I'm saying. You know, it's gonna be a long day,
You must
but
be
you're gonna do
lonely.
it. Yeah, 3 a.m. Great song about his mom. Growing up with his mom, and I guess she was like either abusive or neglectful. I forget what it was. So, I was reading a Reddit thread the other night. I've been staying up all night. I haven't been.
Are they not
sleeping.
called Threadits?
No.
I know I combine words, but I feel like this is just a fucking given. How is it not called a Threadit?
I don't know, Matt. And yeah, you
what
do.
are we doing?
I don't even know. But
All right, go ahead, continue. We don't need to make a thing about it.
So I wake up in the middle of the night a lot to feed the boy, because he just wakes up and he's like, all right, now's the time to feed me, right? And so after I feed him, the whole process takes about a half hour to like wake up, warm the bottle, feed him, burp him, put him back to bed, whatever. And now I'm awake. So every time this happens, I have a tough time getting back to sleep. So I go on my phone at night, which I shouldn't do. I know I shouldn't be looking at my phone in bed, but I am. And I opened up this Reddit thread, and it's how do you know you were neglected as a child? And then and then all these users are coming in with all these different responses. Man, I fit every response on there, and it worried me. And then I just became crazy. I was like, yeah, that's me. That's me too. That's me too.
Oh, this is great, Chris. So on top of the fact that Julie's concerned for your physical health because you're on your phone in bed, you're now also diminishing your mental health because
it's
you're
gone.
fucking with yourself. What is wrong with you?
I don't know, dude. I am going nuts right now. I don't know. I should start a news note, because things are going kind of crazy in my head. I'm going a little loco. But yeah, I couldn't believe how on the money they were. And and so I'm a little freaked out about it. Like, some of the stuff was like, oh,
what's freaking you out about it?
because it was like they described me to a T. Yeah. And so I just was reading like, oh my God, this is me. I wanted to wake up Jen. I want to wake up Jen and tell her.
For you, Chris. You weren't neglected as a child.
Oh, thanks, Doss. All right, all
You're
is good.
welcome.
Don't you feel
All right.
better?
Yeah, I do. Let's see some Shea Fondue. Oh, wrong button.
Oh no!
What type of foods might we hear of today? What might be the price? What might be the venue? So let's find out. It's time for Gary to say, hey, Matt.
It's on the menu.
Well, I want to begin. Excuse me. I like to begin with an updagel.
Should I kick him
No.
out? Should I kick him out, Gary, or do you want to
know that I've
entertain this?
been keeping you updated on the bagel situation around here?
Right.
I have just been dying for like a normal, just a regular bagel chain to open. And sure enough, I discovered this past weekend that an Einstein Bros
Oh, love them.
bagel has opened near me. It was a glorious day this past Saturday. I was like, where is this place? It seemed like I'd driven by it a million times. It's in a gas station convenience store. Kind of like when you go to the gas station convenience store, they have like a little mini Subway. It's
So
like they
there's a
kinda have-
danger factor there.
there's definitely a high danger factor. They don't have the whole menu, but enough of the enough options there. I was able to get my my standard bagel breakfast sandwich. I was very, very happy. But if I just want to continue, if I may, with like a Shay in the life, because I got this bagel earlier in the day because my wife and I were going to enjoy a first time for us, but a stereotypical, a landmark Austin water feature, which is called Barton Springs. And it's essentially like a communal pool that's fed from a natural spring. So it is always 69 degrees. And I know that sounds like something I just made up, but that's true. It's pretty fucking cold. Having grown up on the West Coast, going into the Pacific Ocean, it's really not too bad. But my wife, a little too chilly for her. But when it's 105 degrees out, it's really not bad. But I will say that my big problem with this place was there's algae in the shallow end of the pool. I don't know. Let me ask you guys, when you're getting into a cold pool, are you a walk-in or a jump-in?
I'm a jump in.
jump.
The trick is you got to get your head wet.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's going to
Very.
be cold forever. The second your head goes under, you're good.
For a pool?
Yeah. Just
Yeah.
like a cold water in general. But yeah, a pool specifically.
Well, I mean, jump in. I don't know what this Barton Springs situation is, but I'm not jumping into a body of water if I can't see that it's going to be safe.
Well, it's safe. It's like a communal pool. There's a fucking diving board. There's 100 people
all
there.
right.
It's like
Yeah,
a
if
big
you can see the
thing.
bottom, like if you can see where you're jumping into, then yeah, it's jump. If it's
Okay.
like a lake situation where the water's maybe not so clear, I would probably walk in.
So here's the deal. This is a place where at parts you can just kind of walk into the water based on like the stairs that they have built in. And then there's other parts that are probably 8 or 9 feet deep and you can dive in. And again, they literally have a diving board. And where it's 8 or 9 feet deep, the water's very clear. But if you're going to just walk in, there's a little bit of algae. And by a little bit of algae, I mean an insane amount of algae. I'm a jump in kind of person, but my wife, she's a walk in kind of girl. So I'm walking in with her and it gets to the point where like the boys
You want to
are
dunk.
touching the water and I'm ready to dunk. That's right.
You
Chris.
got to dunk.
Right. Yeah.
But I'm so grossed out by the algae situation. It is
It's a spider web of water.
It's a spider web of slimy fucking plant water.
Yeah, it's gross.
But at a certain point, I'm like, I'm dipping in. So I dipped in and immediately I pop up and I'm like doing the self squeegee, I think is what Gary called it. I'm just like pushing the water off and I'm like, is there any on me? Is there any on me? And Julie looks at me and she goes, it's in your beard. And I fucking lost my shit. This was
You're
the most
such a pussy.
disgusting
Oh
fucking
my
situation
God,
I've
dude.
ever been in. It was awful. Oh, it was terrible. But later we went to the deep end of the pool. I dove in. I got myself washed off.
Yeah.
And I will say that Barton Springs, while something that I guess I'm glad I did, it again is an iconic Austin thing to do. It's a fun thing that I don't think I ever need to do again. Pool water, algae, that's what's on the menu.
Did you eat the
What did you
algae?
eat?
Yeah, it just went in my mouth. It was gross. I'm just trying to wrap up the segment.
Now,
Started with up bagel, and you guys thought this was gonna get better.
I know I should have known we peaked there. Do you guys believe in like Larry King used to have a bagel place out in LA? I don't know if it's still owned by his estate or anything, but they would import the water from New York to make their bagels.
Yeah,
think
they
that's
do that
really
with
a thing?
pizza.
Yeah, they do the
that
pizza.
too with pizza. Yeah, it is
Do
a
you-
thing.
It is a thing. Like it really would make
Totally
a
a
difference.
thing.
Yeah,
Totally a fucking thing.
just seems like such a hassle. But what another thing they did, which I really liked, Matt, and I'm sure you've probably seen this at other places too. Their iced coffee. The ice cubes were made of coffee, so your coffee
Wow.
never got watered down. It was
I
just
dig it.
yeah, it was just all coffee.
Coffee cubes? Come on.
Coffee cubes. Yeah,
Sign me up.
yeah. That was another thing that place, Larry King's bagel place, did when I would go to it. And yeah, that's what I really remember. But I'm glad you found a good bagel spot, dude. That was a great up bagel.
Bagel. You're welcome.
Thank you for the strong up bagel. All right, well,
Bagel.
all right. Now it's time for us to go around and get our plugs in before we GTFO. And reminder, we are playing a clip from our movie club when we watched How High right after this. So just tune in and stick around. All right, so why don't I start with Dawson? Dawson, what do you suggest we check out?
I suggest you call your mother and tell her you love her. And follow me on my Instas.
What if you were neglected as a child?
Chris, you were not neglected as a child. I guarantee you that.
Yeah.
Filipino mothers are incapable.
I know, and it's like an
neglecting
insult to
their
my mom
children.
to even be thinking
I grew
that.
up with your kind.
I
I love
know.
them. They were my mothers too. There's
know.
no fucking way you were neglected as a child.
I'm gonna have to have a talk with her and bring some printouts. But yeah, see, if it does feel insulting to even like imply that insult, but whatever. Yeah, just a weird neuroses that I had at 4 a.m. All right, yeah, love that, Doss. Oh, and by the way, follow Dawson on Instagram at Dos Angeles.
Los Angeles, all the way.
Doss, you posted a
Yeah.
clip of you playing
Why?
Umbrella by Rihanna.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, I loved it.
Actually, so we did that. We played that at the pool party on Sunday,
Oh,
Why?
more of that.
and it actually went fucking well. Everyone was assigned a song based on a Mexican lottery game called Loteria.
Yeah,
It's like a 400-year-old bingo game.
yeah, I've seen
And
them.
one of the lottery things is an umbrella. And so they took suggestions from the people who are going to be at the party, what songs should be played. And those songs were assigned to bands, and we got assigned Umbrella. And everyone said that if it were a contest, we would win hands down.
Hell yeah, dude.
It went very well.
Yeah,
We might start playing that song in our sets.
You
Well, Dawson,
should.
can I give you a
I
little
love
tip
that song.
here? If you want the umbrella to work properly, you want your hands up.
Right.
So just
Yeah,
Good to know.
that's
Right.
look. He's just looking out for you.
I know.
Yeah, but
Appreciate it.
watch Dawson's Instagram where he plays that song because it was really fun. It's like you don't expect Dawson to sing that, and he killed it. All right, Matt, how about you?
Well, please check out our Patreon, patreon.com/watercooler. And I will also say that I've been producing another podcast called The Presumption, which features the defense attorney for Alex Murdaugh. And there was a huge press conference today about potential jury tampering. So we got kind of an inside scoop. It's kind of a fun project that I'm excited to be a part of. So if you want to check that out as well, that's called The Presumption. And I'm on Twitter at Matt Fondelier.
Boom. And Gary, so about you?
Yeah, subscribe to our Patreon, patreon.com/watercooler. At any tier, you get the first movie club, and then you can kind of listen to the whole back catalog as well. And I'm certainly not running the show, but I would presume that if you want to hear the full breadth and width of the patriarchy, you're going to need to be subscribed over there. And I, for one, will be. So you should come join us. We're having fun.
I am so excited for the patriarchy and
Me
us figuring this out. This is and the Game of Thrones style too. Thank goodness. Kaylin is going to be so pumped.
Maybe Game of Scones.
I'm writing that down.
You're welcome.
Matt- Oh my God, Matt just got a boner. He's so happy
I'm
right
surprised the table hasn't tipped over.
now. Good job, Gary. All right. Well, anyway, that was the show. Thanks again to everybody for hanging with us. We'll be back later this week for Patreon.
I don't hate it. I don't hate it.
I'm in the refractory period, Chris. You got to give me a few minutes before I can take that on.
And also, just we'll see you next week. All right, that's enough. We love you guys. Goodbye. Bottom line for me is I wish it was High School High that we were watching, and it just felt like a 1994 comedy that came out in 2001.
Yeah.
A little 2000 late.
Well, again, let's not forget this. We're talking Christmas time, just after R.I.P. the Twin Towers. Man, this was a vulnerable time in America. I feel
we needed
like
to laugh.
we needed to laugh.
That's true. I didn't even think about that. You're right. 2001.
And then we
Yeah.
watched this movie and we still
And this
needed
movie
to
came to the
laugh.
rescue.
yeah, this movie, I forgot, united America and really rescued us. Yeah.
I don't even smoke weed anymore, but watching this movie definitely made me nostalgic for all the days that me and my friends would roll blunts and smoke them.
Yeah,
I was like, oh, those look awesome. And I wish I was still doing that, even though I don't like it.
You'd be surprised watching people smoke cigars in movies, watching like Mad Men, you're going to want to smoke a cigarette. Like, it's weird how watching people do that makes you want to do that. I don't even smoke cigarettes and I want to smoke a cigarette if I see other people doing it in a movie. So yeah, there's definitely a fair amount of that. Matt, do you want to get into some of the foods?
Oh, hell yes.
I mean, it's a stoner movie. You got to have food. All right. Here we go.
Yeah. I got a lot of thoughts here.
Oh, wrong. All right, here we go.
Oh, no.
What type of foods might we hear of today? What might be the price? What might be the venue? So let's find out. It's time for Gary to say, hey, Matt.
What's on the How High menu?
Well, I took a bunch of notes about all the food that was used and the drinks that were used throughout this film. Beginning with pretty early on in the movie, an ad for Pork Chops a Chunky. You guys may remember this classic moment with Tracy Morgan. How do we feel about canned meat?
Love it.
Love it, really.
I grew up on Spam. I'll have Spam any day of the week. Spam is a Spam musubi, Spam and eggs. I'll have Spam anytime. I love myself some Spam.
And how do you feel about canned meat?
That is canned meat.
Spam was the only acceptable canned meat.
Okay.
Canned something.
Spam's awesome.
Yeah, to me, the pork chops a chunky kind of look like dog food, but everyone in the fake commercial was loving it, man. They made it sound like it was the best food ever. But
yeah,
I suppose that's what you're supposed to do.
Growing
As opposed
up,
to those commercials where they like act like they hate the product.
Good point.
when I was a single bachelor living alone, I would frequent the soup aisle at Ralph's and just get all the chunky soups, the Hungry Boy soups, whatever, the stews, because they were easy to cook. You just microwave the stuff or put it in a pot. I don't have to do much, and I thought it was healthy. Number two, so it's like, yeah, just eat some soup.
Healthy.
Soup's healthy, baby. And I would just I wouldn't have a push cart because there wasn't too much stuff I wanted, but I had that carrying basket that was just filled with cans. I would just freaking haul that thing up to the register. It was so heavy, and that was my life, was eating all those stews and all the beef and the chunky soups and all that. So I guess it's canned meat. Yeah,
they are good. They're horrible for you, but they taste good.
Yeah.
Well, I was assuming that
I didn't grow, but I turned out okay otherwise.
I assume that this stoner movie would be filled with Munchies-esque moments, but it took approximately 27 minutes of this movie to have any sort of stoner food eating moment. And that was, of course, the moment where Method Man was consuming Cheetos and the dust was falling all over the hand woven tapestry. And, I think Cheetos are a really good stoner snack. They did a good job of replicating the main issue with the Cheeto, which is the mess. I'm going to have a paper towel nearby. I know Kaylin always has one nearby anyway, but especially when you're eating Cheetos, that's just the way to go.
Yeah.
But really the main thrust of this movie, Sam Adams. They clearly had some sort of production deal with Sam Adams, because partway through the movie, Redman shows up for a date with Lisa Turtle. And what is he carrying? But 2 bottles of Samuel Adams Winter Lager, which is not even the regular Sam Adams. I was so confused by this moment. First of all, again, I'm not trying to be too offensive, but I don't really feel like Method Man and Redman are drinking Sam Adams. It just doesn't seem like the kind of beer that they're going to drink, let alone the Winter Lager version, which is like German pills with like coriander and orange peel. It's like a total like
fancy beer.
Fancy beer.
Is it possible that this is supposed to be a nod to the fact that they are in the Boston area?
Well, that's what I gathered eventually. I'm like, okay, they're at Harvard. That starts to make sense. So I was a little upset, though, because they brought these beers for the date and then they never drink the beer. They never open the beer. It's not consumed at all. The caps are still on. And then in the next scene, somebody just drops a case of beer. It breaks everywhere. I'm like, no one is drinking this beer. Nobody likes fucking Sam Adams Winter Lager. Even at the Halloween party, they have a Halloween Halloween party and everyone's drinking not even Sam Adams Oktoberfest, which would actually make sense, but Sam Adams Winter Lager. Very, very distressing for me.
You want to know what else is
of
weird? So Sam Adams is John Quincy Adams' uncle. So
well, again, I think it all goes back to the whole like Harvard-esque tone, right?
Yeah, and what's the statue's guy's name? The Tuttle or the
Dooster. Don't pretend you don't know that it's Dooster.
Yeah, I'm not sure if you watched the movie now, Gary. Now I'm starting to think he did just read the wiki.
I watched the freaking movie.
Dawson too. I feel like he's only talked about the first 6 minutes of the movie. I'm not convinced he finished the movie. Yeah, he's not even responding. That's what I thought.
He may not know he's muted.
Sorry. I thought I love Dooster.
How convenient.
Dooster was fucking great.
Chris, at the end of the movie, what is Lisa Turtle's character reveal that she has discovered?
Are you really quizzing me on this movie?
I think that's a fair question.
Okay, she says the guy can't.
You didn't watch it.
No, I did watch it. She's like, oh yeah, he can't please, but you can, or something like that. Like,
no, I'm not asking for a line. At the end of the movie, she reveals that she discovered the artifact she's been working on the whole thing.
The bong.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, you watched it. Good job.
Get out. I watched the bloopers. I watched the pimpology class. I watched the pimpology class in the credits. I watched the whole effing thing, okay? And I am now mad that you think I wouldn't watch this movie. I need to get credit for sitting through this damn freaking movie. Give me my credit.
All right, fine. You get credit, but you didn't remember Bart's name. You thought it was Roy.
I didn't remember Bart's name. I just said that guy. I just said the guy.
They're all from the same scene. Did you fast forward that scene?
What scene?
The scene where he's talks about Crew and his great.
No, I said I hated the dialogue in it. Why? How would I know what the dialogue is if I fast forwarded it?
How do you know what the dialogue is if you can't remember 3 different things about it?
I didn't like the movie. I don't want it. I don't want any more of it to take up my memory. I've said a lot of facts. I've talked about it enough.
I got some more food thoughts. Can we get back here?
Go for it.